Welcome back to Wednesday Night Zombie Fever. You're here with Steph, Rach, and not Bridget, sorry, Emma tonight. Sorry,
Bridget's
Emma.
fill in, it's okay.
Bridget's away again
Her
tonight.
understudy.
So, recently in the news, there has been a morbidly obese 2-year-old.
A fat baby.
Very fat baby.
A very fat baby. Basically, this has attracted attention because this is allegedly the youngest person ever to receive bariatric surgery.
Yeah, so this kid had to have surgery basically to lose weight.
Yeah.
He was 33 kilos at 2 years old, which, to put that in some context, when I was in year 5, I was 20 kilos. So,
I mean, you
it's
can
quite a
basically,
large
that's
child.
like 15 kilos a year.
Yeah.
Now, the question, I guess, is this due to genetics or environmental
Well, we
factors?
couldn't quite tell. In the article that we read, they said that they tried to put him on diets and didn't work, but the surgeons also said that they couldn't actually confirm that the parents had stuck to the diet.
Yeah, so the parents might have just been a bit lazy and not actually put their kid on the diet. But the question we're going to ask today is this child abuse? Basically, because the kid can't choose what he eats. And if it's not a genetic thing, then it's got to be what the parents are giving him to eat.
Maybe it was a choice. Maybe they laid a couple of dishes in front of him and he just...
Ate all 3.
Well, I was going to say pointed to the junkier food, but... Yeah.
Well, I mean, eventually, obviously, these parents did take their kid to the hospital. They didn't wait till he was 5 years old and couldn't fit through the door to try to get him medical help. It started at 14 months, so maybe they did know something was up.
Maybe it was genetic for this kid. But there have been quite a few fat children.
But this really takes the cake and eats it, then goes back for seconds.
True.
I like what you did there.
But if
Thanks.
people always say, you know, there's a lot of kids that are getting more and more obese and things like that.
People
and,
getting fatter younger.
Yes. And it's
Sort of
not
like
really...
people are learning about drugs younger, as we figured out today with your school story.
It's true.
Yeah, kids
Very
are learning
true.
about cocaine and heroin in year 5 now.
Yeah.
Which took us
And
till year
mistaking
8,
it
right?
for Coca-Cola.
For Coca-Cola,
Also, just
as you do.
anyway.
Yeah, so it's... Kids are getting fatter younger. And this has got to be an issue with the parent. If it's not a genetic issue, it's got to be an issue with the parent, right?
And you'd think that if it was a genetic issue, it wouldn't be coming up now. Sort of like how we've got all of these people who are suddenly allergic to gluten. You think if that's like a natural thing, why hasn't it been within a percentage of the population already? If it's not an environmental thing.
Well, allergies and stuff are becoming more and more as well. Like, people are getting... There's heaps more nut allergies these days, food allergies, egg allergies. All of these kind of things are becoming more and more common. But I think with kids that are getting more obese, putting on more weight at a younger age, I think that's due to more our culture than it is genetics. As
we
in
call
the fast
kids fat
food.
easier.
No, the fast food culture.
To quote you-
Advertising and...
Or sort of to paraphrase what Steph said, it's okay to talk about fat babies because they're not around to defend themselves.
Oh, no. It wasn't because they're not allowed to defend themselves. Because fat babies, if you call a baby fat to its face, it doesn't know it's getting inside.
Depending on your body language when you're saying it, they might be able to pick up.
I don't want to insult
just
babies. I quite like babies.
Point at them and then
Children's
point
a
to the
different
Stay
issue, but
Puft
I-
Marshmallow Man and see if they get
They'll get it.
I quite like babies, but I don't want to insult any
But some of
children.
them are fat.
But it's not the baby's fault if they're fat. Like, it cannot be the baby's fault.
Yeah.
There's no possible way. It's either genetic or it's what the parents are feeding the child.
And I think if the parents are overfeeding it, it's the same thing as like trying to overfeed a pet. It's a that was not really the sentiment I was going for.
Your children are like your pets.
Right.
Just build them a little doggy door and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But this got us looking at the heaviest person ever, because this was really about, okay, how quickly can you get that fat? Because usually when you look at somebody who's morbidly obese, and we're not talking about, like, we are talking about people who are dangerously, unhealthily overweight here.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to say it's cool to be skinny or whatever, but we're talking about, like, people who are unhealthy.
Yeah.
You look at some people and you think, okay, even half of you would still be unhealthy.
Yeah.
So how did you get there? Like, at what point did you realise that you were heavier than everyone else?
Well, I think these people, they always realise. I don't think there's never a point where they think that they're okay. because they know, like, the heaviest guy in the world was...
Oh, should we have a guessing game?
Well, yeah, because I said it was... My guess would be the heaviest person would be upwards of 300 kilos.
I guessed that it would be upwards of 400 kilos.
See, I didn't think a person could get that heavy.
Turns out they can. So the number is over 400. We want our listeners to post on the Wednesday Night Zombie Fever Facebook page what you believe.
And don't look it up on the internet, please.
Oh, don't cheat.
Don't cheat.
Yeah.
It's not fun. if
Oh,
you
they
cheat.
didn't cheat with the IKEA effect.
Yeah.
Which they should have, because we got it wrong. But anyway, so don't cheat, but let us know what your guess is in kilograms for the world's heaviest person.
Yeah.
What's the prize? Who's the
Our
closest?
respect.
Our respect, yeah.
And a
Only if you
mention
didn't cheat.
on air,
Yes.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, but I think these people, they know that they have a problem. But there's a whole,
Yeah, their problem is they can't fit through the door.
there's a whole, like, cycle that goes with it.
They
so,
have to shop in the Bunnings Tarpaulin department.
well, usually, being serious here for a second,
Sorry.
not
I'm
buying tarpaulins
serious.
for shirts, usually it starts with low self-esteem. And these people, they eat because they are
I
depressed.
probably wasn't helping them.
They eat because they're depressed, and then they get bigger, and then become more depressed, so they eat more, and it kind of goes like that until they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until they can't move, and then whatever you eat basically makes you fatter because you can't move.
So my diagnosis that they just need a fat dose of reality.
Well, no, that wouldn't work, because if you just yell at someone like that, you're fat, go and work out, they're just going to make them more depressed, and then they're going to eat more.
I'm
So
sorry.
you're adding to the problem.
All I can think of is at the moment is that Simpsons quote: "I wash myself with a rag."
Rag on a stick.
Well, Emma, you're a teacher. What's your... Have you seen any, like, fat children that you've really thought of going up to the parents and saying, look...
Your kid is morbidly
Like-
obese.
You know
need to do
what? I
something.
haven't. Not in my experience, anyway. None of the kids I've taught, so I guess that's a positive. But that's a very small percentage, isn't it, of the
Yeah.
entire population? But
So
no
do you
issues
have,
from my end.
the kids in your class are generally pretty healthy, weight-wise?
Weight-wise, yes, yeah, for
Cool.
sure.
That's a good
and I
thing.
like to attribute that to me and my workouts.
Do you make your kids work out a lot in class?
Oh yeah.
It's just like, what's 2 plus 2? 4. Okay, now do 4 dumbbell curls.
Drop and give me 20.
You get the maths question wrong, drop and give me 20. Sounds about right.
Yep.
I think kids could do with that kind of education, I think.
Absolutely.
good.
Get them moving.
A little bit more physical.
Okay, well, we will be back to talk about costumes.
Costumes
Yay.
next? Yeah, I thought we were going to do Beardy Man next.
Beardy Men.
Incredible.
Beardy Men are more fun.
Okay, let's do Beardy Men.
Alright, let's go into some songs now, and then after
Yep.
the break, Beardy Men.
This is Rasputin. Get all of your guesses onto
And
the
he was a
Facebook.
beardy
Speaking of
man.
which, perfect.
Speaking of Beardy Men,
Sorry.
Rasputin.
Get your guesses in for the world's heaviest person. It is upwards of 400 kilos. We'll be
Earn
back-
our respect.
Earn our respect on 2BACR 100.9 FM.
That's the Wednesday Night Zombie Fever. You're here on 2BACR 100.9 FM. Am I speaking to the public now?
One of those songs that ends very abruptly.
So,
Oh, okay.
for context,
Sorry, Emma, not Bridget.
just for context, I turned down that song at the end and Steph says, "What happened to everyone in the House of Love?"
I'm sorry, I didn't realise we'd come back. Anyway,
Yeah.
a little bit of warning next time, Rachel, would be nice.
Sorry. Now we've had... I feel like Facebook is messing up, and not that people aren't following us here. So I said on Facebook, how heavy is the world's heaviest person? And, well, at least, at first I said on air that it's over 400, and the first guess was 350. So I said, no, it's over 400. And said, how heavy is the world's heaviest person? The next guess was 450. I said, lower. So he said 440, and then the next guess was 600. So I assume you two cannot see each other's answers. Otherwise, that made no sense. Anyway, the world's heaviest person was 444 kilos.
Yes,
That's incredible.
I didn't think somebody could get that large. I thought 300 kilos would probably be the max that someone could get to. But when I looked it up, it was, 980 pounds?
And I wonder if they started as a fat baby.
Possibly. They just continued on from
Yeah.
babyhood.
They never lost the baby fat.
Anyway.
All 400 kilos.